Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for your next big change. The reason we're doing this is because Pluto is moving into Aquarius on November 18th, the day this video is published, and it is going to cause big changes for people. You have this leg up card and this message in a bottle card, so really good. Definitely could be getting a leg up or being lifted up at this time. You could also, that message in a bottle card can just simply represent good news, which is kind of what popped into my head when I picked up the card. So this could be good news that you're getting some sort of leg up in life, or you're being lifted up towards something here, Aries. And I think this is going to be very, very good for you at this time. I'm just going to tell you something that I'm feeling that just is kind of like a weird message, but I'm going to say it anyway. I feel like a lot of you are, it's almost like something is stretching. It's like, imagine if you were pushing through like a membrane, right? Like something where it's like you're trying to get to the other side of something, and you're like, I feel you, it's like you're pushing through something, you're about to break through, but it's like that membrane is stretching. Like imagine if you were trying to walk through, saran wrap or something, and it's like about to break, but and you're kind of like on the other side, but it's like stretching through. I don't know, weird. Maybe birth would be a better example. It's like you're in the birth canal, right? You're popping out the other side, but you're still like in the squeeze a little bit. And I feel this reading is trying to encourage you to like really just keep going, and that's like the immediate gut feeling that I get off of this reading. So, maybe some of you feel like right now when you're watching this video, if you're watching it, at the end of November or like on the 18th or whatever, you're kind of like pushing through, and you have the chariot, and the chariot is about like really taking control and really making something happen. So with the chariot, it says where there's a will, there's a way. It kind of is a birth card. He has his city that he is from behind him, and he is leaving that city behind him behind. And he doesn't know where he's going. He is going on an adventure, and he is trusting the mysteries of the universe. These two sphinxes right here represent the mysteries of the universe, and they're not actually attached to the chariot, but he has these stars here, these moons right here. So the chariot represents as above, so below, and because he is in alignment with what he wants, as above, so below, he is those two sphinxes are going to bring him in the right direction. Those sphinxes also have their tails in their paws here. It's kind of hard to see, but they have their tail they're holding on to, and it represents the fact that they have a good handle on where he has come from. It's like the universe sees all the work that you've been doing is kind of what it represents. And, again, I really feel this is encouraging you to keep going. You do go to the tower here, Five of Pentacles to the tower. One thing I will say is that this could simply represent a move. And, to me, the tower is about accepting a new reality, but I don't feel too bad about this tower. We are going to clarify, and we'll see what comes up, but I kind of feel some of you, your next big change could just be a move, or that could be part of it. Next, you have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer serve you, and I think that a lot of you are doing this. I feel that you've learned a lot of lessons over the past few years. And I definitely feel Aries is one of those signs that is going to be implementing those lessons into their life, like right now, with Pluto going into Aquarius. And these lessons are probably going to cause you to make big changes. This could be a move. It could just be walking towards a new environment so that he can experience new things. And I think any moves that you are thinking about making are probably moves that you've been thinking about for a long time. We have the Hangman here, and he's hanging from the Tree of Knowledge and Wisdom, and he has sacrifice movement. This is part of the Fool's journey, the major arcana. And when the Fool gets to the Hangman, he is putting himself on pause so that he can gain enlightenment for his journey, so that he can know like what his next steps should be. And I think that a lot of you have maybe the past few years felt like you are on pause, and now you're ready to move forward. And this is great. I think this is a good thing. I think that this is saying that you're ready to move in the right direction. Now, there's one other thing that's popping into my head here, Aries, is that if we have the Fool in reverse, the Fool in reverse can actually represent forward movement. But sometimes I feel that the Fool in reverse, it kind of looks like he's dancing, right, on this card. And sometimes I actually haven't said this in a very long time. I haven't felt this, but sometimes I feel that he's almost trying to put on a show. Like it kind of looks like he's dancing right here when you have him in reverse, and it's almost like he's trying to put on a show to like get some sort of result. And what I want to say is that we go this way through the Five of Pentacles to the Tower, which obviously I would avoid the Tower, especially if this is something where you feel like you're putting on a show. I don't know, that's what's popping into my head. I hope this message makes sense. I feel like this way is going to lead to true happiness. And so, let's say you are in a relationship. If you feel like you're really having to do a lot of extra things to keep the person with you, I think that will lead to the Tower. I think that, going this direction would lead to happiness, which might mean that you have to walk away from a person where it feels like you're putting on a show. Same thing in work or business. It's like sometimes I think we can just feel like a dancing monkey, right? And we feel like we're just putting on a show. And I kind of feel that is saying, don't do that, right? So I feel like that message might only make sense to a few of you. But let's see. With the Chariot, you have the Lovers. Yes, I kind of felt like this had to do with some sort of love change going this direction. So it definitely could be a change in love. These readings are not meant to be love readings, really. They're meant to be your next big change. And the Lovers can represent being at a crossroads, having a choice to make. The Chariot would say pick the new path. The Lovers says pick the new path. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Three of Pentacles. I think like all fire signs, you've probably experienced challenges since like 2016-ish, somewhere around there, maybe 2015 for some of you, with people. So if you've tried to work together with other people, or if you've tried to team up with people in business, there have probably been a lot of challenges in doing that. And the good news is that this is definitely changing with Pluto's move into Aquarius for you, as long as you're taking the lead. And that's what I would say the trick for Aries is that as long as you are in the leadership position on things that you're working on, things will go well. So, that's what I would say there. With the Hangman, you have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles could be something. I think I said something about good news at the beginning of the reading, and the Page of Pentacles definitely is good news. So there could be good news coming in for you. This could also just be something new, like a new direction. And like I said, I think that this is the direction that you want to move in. And there's no doubt about it that, sometimes we have to make a choice where we will feel left out in the cold. Like if you're in a connection with a person and it's just not right, but maybe you still have love for the person, it will make you feel like you are left out in the cold, right? If you leave. but at the same time, I think that you would be making the right decision. So sometimes the right decision isn't always like the easiest decision. And that's kind of what I feel like that Five of Pentacles is saying. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this donkey. It says patience, humility, and sacrifice. Definitely could be a sacrifice, like you walking away from something, like I said. You have this African lynx. It says silence, body language, and prophecy. And so, I think the body language thing is talking about kind of listening to the things that aren't being said in all situations that you are in. I think that your senses are kind of like heightened at this time, Aries. It's like you might be picking up on things that other people are not picking up on almost intuitively. And this could be in work, in business, in career. You might be noticing things. And I think this could be both good and bad, honestly, because, it's like maybe you notice your boss is acting weird. Maybe no one else notices it. But maybe it's making you feel weird. And then maybe also it's telling you that you need to go find something else, because maybe they're acting weird because the company's about to collapse, right? Or something like that. I don't know. That's just an example. But I also think it could be good, because I think when you see a good opportunity, you're going to be able to pounce. So I would take advantage of this energy. If something feels wrong, it probably is wrong. If something feels right to you, then it probably is right. And I would really pay attention to picking up on the energy and what's not being said and all that other good stuff as well. You have the Ten of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. The Ten of Swords kind of says that something is dead, done, over with. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Pluto, going over the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius. It's at like 29 point something degrees right now today. And today is the 17th. So again, tomorrow it will be at 0 degrees of Aquarius. Pluto will. And that cusp is the death of establishment, meaning that when Pluto crosses the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius, things that are established in our life can go away. Things that we've been dealing with for a long time can be undergoing a transformation, which again is a good thing, not a bad thing. You have the Tower. Tower is the death of establishment. You have the King of Pentacles at the end. King of Pentacles is establishment. You have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is also a card of establishment. So it seems to me like you are letting go of something that has been established in your life for a long time, and you're moving on to establishing something new, which is exactly what you should be doing with Pluto and Aquarius. You have the Five of Pentacles. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think there's a tough decision that you are going to be making. Whatever that choice is going to be different for all of you. I think for some of you, it is about walking away from something that no longer serves you. With the Eight of Cups, yeah, I just feel that it is a hard decision to make. Like I said, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, but I do think it's the right decision, which is, really what I want to say to you, Aquarius, is that, yeah, you might be making a tough decision, but ultimately, I think that this is going to lead to more happiness in the future. I think that picking the old path is just going to lead to a tower, so I would, avoid that. You do have the Ace of Cups. One thing I will say is that the Ace of Cups can represent love, but the Ace of Cups is your flow. And so that cup can easily reach down into the water below it, and it can fill itself back up. And so this is about entering into situations or creating situations. Like, let's say that your business isn't fulfilling you any longer, or your career isn't fulfilling you any longer. It might be a tough decision to go find something else. But at the same time, it's like what you're going to find is going to bring you back to this point of flow where you are overflowing, where you have energy, where you can not be exhausted all the time, and where you can fulfill yourself. The Ace of Cups is all about being able to fulfill yourself. And, that's really what I feel that card is saying. With the Ten of Swords, you have the King of Cups. Yep, King of Cups is about trusting your emotions. King of Cups has very deep emotions. He's sitting in the middle of the ocean, and he has choppy waters all around him. But the story of the King of Cups is that he has explored his emotions so deeply that he's not worried about anything, even though he has choppy waters around him. His face, he looks perfectly fine sitting here in these choppy waters because, again, he understands where he's coming from emotionally. So, I look at tarot as a spectrum. That's why I don't read reversals. I read energy, right? And again, I give reverse meanings all the time. But, I think on the highest vibration version of the King of Cups, he is very emotionally in control, and he knows exactly how he feels about things, and he is able to control his feelings through making a tough decision like a Five of Pentacles choice that you could be making. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Fool, so I think you are going to pick the new path. I do believe that you will go this direction towards the Ten of Cups because the Fool is really about having a new beginning. The Page of Pentacles is also about having a new beginning. Yes, with the Ace of Cups, you have the Sun. It's like your happiness is more important, is really what this is saying. So I feel a lot of you are choosing your own happiness, which is exactly what you should be doing. So I don't know. I feel like I have nothing else to say about that. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, yes, you have this look at the bigger picture card. It says, look at the bigger picture. You have this full moon in Aries. It says, a fiery climax approaches. Tower, definitely a fiery climax. So I feel like this look at the bigger picture card is encouraging you to look at everything that you want in your life. I find, I talk to a lot of people where, especially I go live with Scott at the end of every single month. I go live with Bonnie and we answer questions for people. And it's a lot of people that ask about relationships that they're thinking about leaving, for example. It's I can tell, it's usually things only ever get worse, right? Unless you're with a person who's willing to put the work in, then totally different story. But, if the person isn't willing to put in the work, usually things do not get better. And I always say to those people, does that person match your future vision? If you had the perfect life, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, if you had the perfect life, perfect connection, what would that look like? And does that person match? If they don't match, then it's not the right person, right? Plain and simple. So I feel like this is saying, look at the big picture and see how everything you're doing, not just love, I was just using that as an example, but see how does everything you're doing fit? And I think what you'll find is maybe some things fit, other things don't. And I think those are the big changes that you're making right at the beginning of Pluto and Aquarius here, is that you're going to be making changes to make sure that the things that you're doing actually fit into your vision for the future, and maybe getting rid of the rest, right? You have the Ten of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Tower. Ten of Cups is fortune after difficulty, which is actually pretty good with the Tower. It could say that you're kind of overcoming a Tower moment, or you're healing from a Tower moment. The Ten of Cups is also about choosing happiness. These people on this card are choosing to be happy. They are standing in the real world, so they still have to deal with all the real world issues and problems, but they're choosing to focus on what makes them happy. And that's exactly what I would do here, is choose ultimate happiness. Or, I kind of feel like that's what the whole reading is saying. You have the High Priestess. High Priestess is all about trusting your intuition. I think that what would be more important for you, Aries, is to read the room. Pay attention to the things that people aren't saying, but not even people. It's like you can pay attention to the vibration of you or your energy or your business. And I think all those things, everything you do is trying to communicate with you in some way. And it could be, this card says body language, but I feel like it's saying, the energy of the situation. It might be a better way to put it. And I feel this is saying it would be a good time to really tap in and feel how you feel about what you're doing so that you can make better choices. You have the Tower, and again, the Tower definitely could be a Tower moment. I do feel for most of you it's just a move. So you could be literally moving or thinking about moving, which, we have the Hangman, which can say you've been thinking about something for a long time, like whether or not you should do something. And I do feel a lot of you could be moving. For others, I feel this could be like a work change or relationship change that you are making. But the Tower, these people have been ignoring reality for a long time, and now they're being brought back down to reality. So they are choosing reality. Or they're kind of seeing reality for how it actually is. And that's what I feel for you here, Aries, is that you're seeing reality. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Empress here. I thought you had another card, but the Empress is total abundance, total success. And the Empress is also about luxury, enjoying the nicer things in life. She actually is kind of connected to the Tower because she has this waterfall here. This water is water that flows down from the Emperor. But down here, like if you were at the bottom of a waterfall, you would be getting tossed all over the place. A waterfall is chaotic force. The Tower is also chaotic force. So she understands that her situation is looking pretty good right now, but things can always change. So she's being realistic. It's like she is successful, she's enjoying life, she's enjoying the things around her, but she knows that things can always change. And that's it. She just understands change, right? With the High Priestess, you have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is needing to trust your intuition. She has this blindfold on, and sometimes I feel she just needs to take the blindfold off and look around. Other times, I feel like she just needs to, the blindfolds in the tarot can represent needing to trust your intuition on making a choice. So, there's definitely clearly a choice that you're making, and I feel like your intuition already knows the right direction, and so I would just trust your intuition. With the Tower, you have the Three of Cups, which is funny because the Three of Cups would be a celebration. And so, again, I kind of feel like this might not be a bad Tower. This could be a good Tower. It could just be saying that, yes, you're going to be experiencing a change. But the Three of Cups is a celebration. So, for a lot of you, you could be making a big change with the Tower because the Tower is a big change, but obviously it could be leading to, a celebration or a lot more happiness. I'm wondering if it's coming up as the Tower because it's more of a difficult choice, like I said, like we've been talking about this entire time. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Osiris card, says Heavenly Messages. You have this Alchemy and Healing card as well. So I do feel, again, that you need to pay attention to that intuition. I think right now is a great time for healing. We have a bunch of retrogrades at the end of the year here, and retrogrades are always just good for, resting, relaxing, recovering, recharging your batteries, listening to your inner voice, healing, all that good stuff. You have the King of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups. The King of Pentacles is a card of stability. It's also a card of establishment. And so with the King of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles at the end here, I believe that you are establishing yourself in a different way, especially with the Tower. Tower, death of establishment. Pluto going over the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius is death of establishment. And so I think for a lot of you that you are kind of like establishing yourself in the world in a new way. This could be you getting a new job, getting a new career, just making changes to yourself in some way. It could be anything, really. It could be you moving, literally establishing yourself somewhere else. The list goes on and on there. But King of Pentacles is a great card because it would represent like wealth and success. So a lot of you are creating long-term success by doing this. Same thing with the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is long-term success. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life, and it forms the tree of life. Ten of Pentacles is all about building, leaving a legacy. Again, you being born right next to Taurus, Taurus comes after you. I would say that, this is definitely true for you. We still have Uranus and Taurus, which is your second house. And I would say if I were an Aries, I would be taking advantage of this energy, right? So there are a couple of things you can work on with Uranus and Taurus. Number one is freedom. Anywhere you feel restricted, like can you turn it into something that makes you feel free, or can you remove restrictions that are making you feel restricted? That's one thing. The other thing I would be focusing on is building things that are long term. So instead of like working on a get rich quick scheme, I would be working on building a long term business, right? And so I think the Ten of Pentacles is all about permanence, and so is the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles is Taurus. So I would be working on anything long term, and I would also be looking for long term opportunities in all areas of your life. You have the Five of Cups. Again, Five of Cups is coming up in the good stuff. Five of Cups in the good stuff would say you are not going to regret making this choice, the choice with the Five of Pentacles. So Five of Cups is usually regrets and sadness, but again, in the good stuff, it says you are not going to miss whatever you're walking away from. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Three of Swords. Again, Three of Swords in the good stuff would be healing. So I feel for a lot of you that you are undergoing a deep healing with that Three of Swords and that King of Pentacles showing up there, or you are, doing something to heal yourself. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands, long-term commitment. So normally this card represents marriage. There is a little bit of love here, so if you do want love, it could be love. But again, these readings are your next big change, which could include love. But, I think I really wanted these to be more focused on something bigger. And so I would say that the Four of Wands can be your commitment to creating the Ten of Pentacles. Again, I think the best thing people can do right now with Uranus and Taurus is commit to something long term, to building something, or turning yourself into something. Any of that stuff would be very beneficial. With the Five of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups. Yes, you are not going to regret this change. This, for some of you, this does make me feel like you are walking away from a connection that you thought you loved. And I think there is love there for sure. But I think you're going to find like true love if you do choose to walk away. It's like you're not, the Five of Cups could be, let me rewind here. The Five of Cups could be you saying like, am I going to regret this in the future? Like missing out on this, or feeling like you're going to miss out on something. But, clearly coming up in the good stuff, it's saying that you will not. You have this submission card. This card reminds me of the Eight of Swords because this bird is in this cage, but the cage door is open. So I feel a lot of you could easily set yourselves free right now from something that feels stuck. Next, you have this flirtation card. Yeah, it definitely could be a new connection coming in for you. I wouldn't even worry about it. Like if you're walking away from a person, I wouldn't even, if it's not right, it's not right. And I feel this is saying you have nothing to worry about with this energy. You have this risk card. Every single person has either had this card or has had, all these oracle decks have like some sort of risk card in them. So pretty much everyone has had these cards. I do believe we're in a time of risk where we have to take risks if we want to be successful. So definitely a good time for that. Next, you have this restlessness card. I would also say that I feel that a lot of people could be feeling restless right now. To me, restlessness is very destructive. So if you are feeling restless, I would channel that energy. Again, we cannot make good decisions from a restless place, especially if there is added frustration. So I think like going for walks or, putting that energy into like building something or working on something or creating something is a great way to remove yourself from that energy. You have this innovation card. I mean, Pluto in Aquarius is all about innovation. So for the next like 20 years, with Pluto being in Aquarius, we're going to be doing a lot of innovating. And I would start right now. Again, these readings are not meant to be 20-year predictions. They're your next big change right now when Pluto goes into Aquarius, but definitely something that you should think about for the next 20 years for sure. But really interesting reading, really good. I like where this is going. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.